people knocking on the door and ringing the bell for the television licence fee. And that's why ultimately at the weekend I gave up the ghost and just paid the damn thing, hating to do it as I do, but I still paid it because I don't want a summons. I just couldn't be arsed with regards to having to go into court, because you won't be able to defend it in court. You go into court, you can't not pay it. The judge won't say, okay, listen, you don't morally have to pay it. But Frick got one apparently. Frick, good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. So you received a summons for non-payment of your television licence fee when?
Yeah, I got it there in the first post, really, in the new year I got it, but it's gone back to the 20th. We do the 20th of August, but, like, I was saying that the Seamus, like, and the household benefit scheme, this, when you reach a certain age, that you're entitled to it. I didn't know all about this until I got it, and then I got a thing back saying that you're entitled to free licence. But I'm not comparing either way.
What age do you become entitled to a free television licence?
I think it's 66. I think in circumstances now might be even under 16. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I brought it in. I think I just have to get mine after the date, if I'm not mistaken. So they're saying it's gone back to 2020, so that's 4 years ago. Like.
Oh, you mean that you got a summons for 2020?
Yeah.
All right, so they go back that far.
The penalty date 15th of July. Well, they must be with me or something, anyway.
Okay, so it's a legitimate summons then for not paying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I have to appear in court on the 29th of February.
All right, and are you going to? That's only like a fortnight away.
No, I'm not paying that.
Are you going to court?
Listen, I'm going to add some affairs. I'm right. Because if you don't, you'll be arrested, but that doesn't matter.
There would be a bench warrant, wouldn't there?
You'll be arrested. There would be a bench warrant. I'm just reading there a bench warrant that they could, it all depends what the outcome is, like if 500 could be recovered somewhere else, and else you could be a maximum of 100 hours community service, up to 240 hours community service, if you don't pay up.
Okay, so you are going to attend, are you going to put up a defence?
Yeah, I'm going to put up a defence. I tell them that when the rest of them cop up and after you, I'd pay up then as well.
Okay, and the judge will probably say...
After this morning was a big thing, Neil, again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but...
It seems to be like a game to something in this country, you get it too bad.
Yeah, but the judge will say that's not for this court.
Well, if it's not for this court, why did you drive me in there for licence? I'll tell him that.
But the judge is going to find you guilty.
He probably is.
So what do you do? Will you pay the fine? Will you do the community service?
I'd prefer to do community service, but I wouldn't worry me if I'm dragged in.
Okay, so you know you are going to be fined.
It's crazy.
What did I know?
I'll be fine, yeah, but it's crazy setup. You know what I mean? Listen to people there, I'm on about it. Like, you know what I mean? If we don't, like your mum won't go into the Raptors committee. But like if we, as I said earlier, like if I was supposed to appear in court, you go into court for before on the Saturday, or fail to turn up to collect your dole, you wouldn't get your dole. They can get away with all this money.
Right, I vaguely remember a judge up the country back in the last year throwing out a load of non-payment of licence fee court issues. I didn't dream that. Do you recall it? I think he just
threw them all. He did. He threw over the rate one there, but should have moved over that as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about, but I'm not paying it like maybe something you can FBP, but why not?
Okay. But if they fine you, will you pay the fine?
No.
Okay. All right. And can I talk? Can I talk to you after? Can I talk to you after your court appearance?
You kind of go, Neil, why I have the idea, I was talking when you were on about Valentine's Day yesterday.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it again later, yeah. Love, yeah.
Oh, well, talk to me at 12 first, and she reminded me that she bailed out Valentine's Day.
That's the day she called it. That's the day she called it a day. Oh, God. Look after yourself, Frick. Thanks for taking the call. Pick up the phone on 0818 104 106. Hi, Neil. The maximum redundancy is 2 years' salary. Redundancy equals no replacement for that job. Backhurst is after inheriting a secret organisation. If he doesn't know what's been going on and is still going on, then I don't know what's. I think he knows historically what has been going on. I got this. A notice of summons as they stopped paying in September over all of this bull in RTE. So somebody here got a summons. I rang yesterday and I have until the end of March to pay the €160. I was doing it by direct debit as I honestly couldn't afford the total in one. They wouldn't let me reset up the direct debit. I can do that in September, but I have 5 weeks to come up with €160, or I've been told I'll be fined €1,000. Tell Tommy Gould that people got the water charges money that they had paid returned. He did say that, actually, part of the conversation with me. Why does RTE need government funding when they already have advertising? Why do they need both? You've the likes of Virgin Media who work very hard for what they put out. After all, most of RTE's content is outsourced and paid for anyway. Why are people still paying the television licence? There is fraud being committed in the company itself. Cabs should be brought into the company with the receiver. Yes, and some are suggesting maybe the Garda Síochána. If ex-RTE staff won't appear before an Oireachtas hearing, stop their pension. I bet their health will miraculously improve. Well, you can't do that either, because that is another statutory entitlement, and you can't touch one while investigating the other. That wouldn't work. If I read what Tommy Gould says correctly, the Sinn Féin policy would be to penalise law-abiding citizens for paying the television licence and give an amnesty to those that don't. That's a poorly considered policy from Sinn Féin. Thank you for that. Text 0868 104 106. Yes, indeed, a Dublin judge presiding over television licence prosecution slammed RTE for what he described as elitism, having godlike personalities and freeloaders, while defendants were crippled with the cost of living. There was a special weekly sitting for cases brought by An Post against people who hadn't paid, 159 prosecutions. But before hearing the cases, Judge Anthony Halpin went on a preamble with regards to the disgusting and appalling behaviour within RTE. That's a very long article here. Where does it say what happened? Something rotten in the state of Denmark. And he said, accordingly, it would be remiss of him not to make reference to the recent revelations and exposures about those who were recipients of the licence fee. Sorry about that. I can't find anything in that article as to whether he threw out the cases or not, but he certainly had a go at them. Did you read that, Kevin? Did you find that part?
Sorry, I know it is a very long article.
That article says nothing about throwing them out.
No, he didn't throw them out. He was very, very, very
okay, but was there a court and a judge who did throw them out?
I don't think there was. This is what reminds in my head. But he definitely, what he did was Judge Anthony Halpin, he actually limited all the fines to €150 for those no-shows. So instead of the usual, I can't even figure out what the fine is now. It's all very obvious.
So no judge has thrown it out there?
Not as far as I know. No judge has thrown out any TV licence cases yet. But certainly, some of them are beginning to, I suppose, change their attitudes towards those court summons.
Okay, thanks for that. Text 0868 104 106. Pick up the phone on 0868 104 106. Back after the break.